Traveling can be one of the most challenging and rewarding activities anyone can do. But with inflation skyrocketing in the past year and a half thanks to Papa Powell and his friends at the Fed, paying off your bills, saving and investing, let alone traveling, can be just a pipe dream that seems almost unattainable to achieve. But what if I could tell you guys that there were ways that you could save up to $3,000 within the next year without even having to get a secondary job? Let's say you want to go on a pretty luxurious vacation, so this is going to be your keys to success.
I got the keys, the keys, the keys. I'm here to give you more keys. Major key alert.
Tip number 1 is personally my favorite and probably the easiest one to go about. It's bank hacking. Basically what bank hacking means is you're going to be switching banks pretty often because banks are going to be giving you promotions to sign up for their new bank accounts. All you have to do is usually 2 of 3 things. Either if you have a job, you give their pre-authorized direct deposit, or you can do a pre-authorized debit, which means you're giving money from your institution to make a payment, or finally, you're paying a Visa, credit card, or any other bill payments. You do 2 out of 3 of these for about 3 months, and you're going to get a reward from the bank. And honestly, these rewards can be quite lucrative. It can be anywhere from about $300 to $500, so pretty easy to be able to do that. Just know that for these, you might have to keep a monthly account minimum, so it could be anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000. Some luckily have no monthly minimums, for example, Simply Financial. Link in the bio or description if you want to sign up for that one. You'd be wondering, Alum, why the hell did you decide to switch off accounts? It's because I realized there was no incentive for literally staying at these banks. I was there for years and I never got anything from my bank, so I realized, you know what, I'm done being a cog in the system, we're going to switch it up. I switched over banks and now I periodically do this every 5 to 6 months, about twice a year, give or take, and that's $600 every year. Theoretically, if you were intense and wanted to do this every 3 months, you could. You do that 4 times a year or even more, you do twice at a time, you get 5 bank accounts done like this in a year, which is about $1,500. One thing to keep in mind with this though is if you've already had an account open with some of these banks, they may have a period of restriction where you can't get this. So for example, let's say you closed your account literally 6 months ago, you may not be able to open up one for another year before you'll be able to get those account eligibilities. So while we're on the topic of banks still, instead of opening up a new account, my second tip comes to doing something called credit card churning. This is very popular on subreddits, for example, as well as Facebook groups. You can find it anywhere. But basically, when you open up a new credit card, there are tons of promotional offers. And if you're looking to travel, there is no better way to be able to than using these credit card churning deals. For example, currently the best cards that are known to be able to open, even though there's fees associated with it, are the American Express Cobalt Blue card in Canada, as well as the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card. With the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card, for example, if you sign up, make a purchase, spend $5,000 within the first 6 months, and then $5,000 total within 12 months, you'll get about 70,000 Aeroplan points. Now 70,000 Aeroplan point bonus is around $1,400 in value. Just know that for this there is an income requirement for both these cards here, but there are plenty of other cards that are great. Along with this, there is these fees that can be knocked off. For example, if you're going with a bank, if you have the monthly minimums that we talked about, so the $5,000 in that account, they'll actually be able to waive those fees. So the card usually may cost $140, but they may waive it for the first year as long as you keep that $5,000 in the account. So it's great. You keep the account open, you have that credit card going. Once you've got the points, redeem the points. Once you've gone on your travel, close everything down. Just know that with credit card churning, they are going to go through that credit card application, and along with that, your credit score will get dinged over time temporarily because it does make up a percentage of your credit report. So my third and final tip for you guys is to be able to maximize your RRSPs. With an RRSP, by contributing to it, it's lowering the tax burden, so the amount you're going to have to pay in taxes. Let's say, for example, you've already paid your taxes through your employer, which every single bi-weekly check, they're already taking out a portion of your taxes anyway. You're probably not going to have to pay too many taxes since you've been paying them throughout the year. By contributing to your RRSPs, you're lowering that tax burden, which means it's most likely that the government's going to have to be paying you back in taxes anyway. So, For example, we're going to take someone named Sally, and we're going to assume he or she earns about $60,000 in gross income, meaning that she qualifies for all the cards and all the bank accounts possible. So, for example here, the first thing Sally's going to do is do the bank churning during the year. She does 2 bank accounts because she's not an absolute maniac. She joins TD, which gives her $400 for completing all her requirements, and she also joins Simply, and by using my referral link, it gets her $450 total. $50 because she used a referral link from someone, and $400 because she completed all the requirements. So, to start off, she's off to the races with $850. Next up, Sally's gonna sign up for the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card. She completes all the requirements of making a purchase, spending $5,000 within the first 6 months, $7,500 within 12 months, and gets to 70,000 Aeroplan points, which is equivalent to $1,400 in value, which is going to be redeemed through Air Canada for plane tickets. Finally, since Sally wants to maximize her RRSP room, she knows that her marginal rate of tax is higher from $54,000 to $60,000, so here she contributes $6,000 exact. Not to the exact max of the 18%, but good enough here. Knowing that she gets 20.8% of a marginal tax return based on what we see from the Government of Canada from last year, that's $1,248. But for simplicity's sake, we will make it $1,250. Alright, so after going nuts on the calculator and figuring out what the heck it is Sally got in total, she got $1,250, she got $1,400, and she got $850 from the 2 bank accounts. This brings her to a total of $3,600 in total value to be able to use on travel and vacation.
Oh my God!
Let's say here that the government is going to take some taxes because, they have to make their profits from these bonuses as well. Let's just say it's $300, even though that's going to be way higher than probably what it is, which is 1 bank offer away. Sally's still going to be left with around $3,300. And we'll account for the bank fees too. Let's say she doesn't put in the $5,000 exactly. It's another $150 to be able to do it. She's still ahead of the game, $3,150 this year. For me, looking at $3,150, I could go somewhere pretty luxurious for a week on a resort and not have to worry about anything. I'll just be relaxing and sipping those Mai Tais. By looking for bank offers, doing credit card churning, and finally maximizing your RRSP rates, it really is that easy to be able to travel without having to get a secondary job. Just by looking for these offers, however, you can find diamonds in the rough. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys learned something today, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye now.